in Mexico. So my coach has a timeline of when I need to have stuff purchased for doing the show that I'm doing it on May 31st, and she, like, 90% of it is for March 1st, but I was like, ooh, I need to spread this out. So I mean, like, that's like the latest. And Toxic Angels Bikini shoot company has had a sale going on until yesterday, which was the 27th, of 25% off for their 11th year anniversary. So I was like, oh, this is like a huge opportunity for me to order my suit now. So I was going through the pre-owned suits and stuff, and I was trying to pick out, like, possibly what I'd be able to fit into without getting a new suit, because new suits are like over $600. And so I set up an appointment after talking with my coach of what she's kind of like looking for me, like a guideline for what to order. And so I got an appointment yesterday afternoon with one of the gals, and she was like, oh, like, here's like this one purple suit that looks pretty similar to one you were looking at, and it's like in your size, the bottoms are what you're looking for, all the things. And I was like, where was this one at? Why haven't I seen this one? And it was under Quick Ship collection. So I think it's like suits that had been shipped out fast and then returned fast. So it was already at a reduced price, and then I also got 25% off, and then I also had a gift certificate to use. So I think I spent just a little bit over $400 compared to what it was originally, which was like $660, and then the sale price was just like right at $500. So winning there, and it's gorgeous. Like, I'm so excited to get it. So got that done, and then for work-wise, the government, Trump put on a funding freeze for all program funds that we've been working on for disaster programs and all the things. So payments that I pushed out today are not actually going to go out today. I don't know when they're going to go out, which really sucks when you tell somebody that they're going to get a payment. And they were expecting to use that for feed. So yeah, so high on bikini suit, low on work-wise. There was another high. Oh yes. So my friend Charles that I worked out with, or who worked out with me a couple weeks ago, the week before we went to Mexico, and he was taking pictures. Well, he got those done and developed or processed or whatever, edited. There we go. And like, wow. I'm like, do I look that cool? Am I that badass? They are so cool. They are like so raw and everything. It's amazing. And then he wrote up this like incredible biography of me, and it like explains it. Like, I couldn't explain it the way he like nailed it. It was amazing. I'll go ahead and include some of the pictures here. It's so crazy. right, so last couple days before I go into prep. So prep starts on Saturday. Today is Wednesday evening. And I've been meaning to like take pictures of like what I've been eating during the day to finish off what I've been doing before prep starts. But I don't know if I'll remember to do that. But then I was like, maybe I'll just do some stuff right now. So what I'm getting ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning I am training. So that means right now my carbs and stuff are high. So we're at 300 grams of carbs, 80 grams of fat, and 140 grams of protein. So my pre-workout meal, when I start prep, it's gonna be no dairy, no sugar. So I'm trying to just savor like all the dairy and all the sugar right now. So finishing through all that, I found in the freezer that I still had some Kodiak waffles. So I got that out, and I used to do it with, I have some Greek yogurt, some protein powder, and banana. So that equals out to 30 grams of carbs, 11 grams of fat, and 25 grams of protein. So this will be my pre-workout meal, because I won't be able to have yogurt anymore. So there's that. And then intra workout, this is going to stay the same no matter what. So I got intra carbs. There's 30. This one has 34 grams of carbs. I have to look at the other flavors to see if they have a little bit less of that. But anyways, 34 grams of carbs per serving. What I mean by a little bit less is like, it'd be cool if they were like 32 grams of carbs. I mean, nothing like crazy outrageous. I could just like not do the full scoop of it weighing 34 ounces or 48 ounces. I could do like 46 or whatever that equals out to. Anyways, there's intra. And then post-workout meal when I'm at home, so it's 60 grams of carbs, about 0 grams of fat, and 25 grams of protein. I've been doing pumpkin pancakes, just pumpkin puree, so it doesn't taste like pumpkin. A Kodiak waffle mix, pancake waffle mix, some protein powder, salt, everything has salt, and then sugar-free syrup, and then some banana also to equal out to all that. So my post-workout meals are gonna pretty much actually like just stay the same. I have no dairy in them anyways. I do have almond milk, but that's not dairy. And yeah, so just making those adjustments to my meals. I'll probably be going back to a different lunch that I had been doing before, which was like chickpeas, chicken, veggies. There's lots of different veggies. I can't remember off the top of my head. But making sure the sauces that I have don't have any Greek yogurt. So if you guys surf like the internet and whatnot, there's a lot of people that use Greek yogurt to make sauces out of, which is actually like phenomenal. It's an easy way to get protein in, keeps your fats down if you're looking to have lower fats, because like you could do Greek yogurt and this ranch spicy seasoning, plus probably some like salt, pepper, and hot sauce, and mix all this together. Fire, super good. But I gotta get rid of this stuff out of my recipes and like add in more of something else, just to get more volume of sauce, if that makes sense. Yeah, and then I also get together all of my supplements that I take before I eat my meal in the morning. Okay, so we have some glutamine. So I do 2 scoops in the morning with my pre-workout meal. So before I eat my pre-workout meal, I have 2 scoops, which is 10 grams. Glutamine, I do this 3 times a day. So with 2 other meals, I'll do it again. So glutamine helps with digestion, and digestion is also an amino acid. And then I take all my pills. So vitamin D3 from Evigen. My DHEA is low, so we've been doing 15 milligrams of that. Been doing vitamin C along with creatine pills for my shoulder and other kind of like injuries and stuff. And then we got magnesium. I used to take magnesium in the evening, you know, to help relax everything, but this helps relax throughout the day. And then fish oil pills. So I have all those. Then I eat my meal. And then 45 minutes to 35 minutes. I need to order more. Before my training session. So pretty much right after I finish eating my meal, then I take a scoop of creatine. This helps with energy. And so it increases muscular endurance. I've noticed a big difference taking that. And then I drink my intra carbs, and once I start prep, so next week, or no, Saturday, I'll be introducing my vitamin B complex. So all vitamin Bs. So vitamin B, folic acid, B12, B5. There's magnesium, sodium in here, potassium, L-leucine, L-isoleucine, L-valine, and then niacin. So doing that because once my foods start going low, we still need to be able to keep up with micronutrients. Also in the mail today came all of my protein powders, and I have added casein protein to my collection here. This is gonna be what my afternoon meal. I normally have a meal around 3 o'clock, which is where I would have Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, fruit, peanut butter, and oats. But since we're not doing any fruit after my post-workout meal, and no sugars and no dairy, I'm gonna be doing this with oats and different types of nuts, depending on, you know, how much fat is still in my diet. So it'll be like a treat. So I'm pretty excited for this. You just add a little bit of water to it, and it makes like a pudding type consistency. There's people who don't like it, but I'm a person who is just weird and can handle anything. So this was my last workout and posing session before we start prep on Saturday, and coach said free meals, so I was really trying to figure out what I wanted. So I was either going to do sushi, a burger, Mexican. So I was still craving Mexican from our trip, so we went out to Mi Ranchito, and we got a molcajete bowl and then guacamole, which really sucked for this night though, is because I started to get a cold, so I actually couldn't smell my food, and look how delicious it looks. And then came home and made some protein ice cream. Fire. So, dealing with a sinus infection. This morning, Gabriel was up at 4 o'clock on his tablet. So the only way I was going to get back to sleep is by putting headphones on him. So that's what I did for him for 2 hours. Oh my God. Just like this little kid staring at his tablet outside the bedroom door. So did lots of prepping of a breakfast break from my coach, protein bread and then pizza for the guys. Are you mocking? Or are you just playing now? Okay. Yeah. So tonight I had messed up on evening out my carbs throughout the day, mostly because of being sick and taking a nap for like 2 hours or so. Anyways, so I think I'm going to be turning into a pumpkin pie puree connoisseur, because I just did oats with pumpkin puree, some seasoning, mushrooms, and tomatoes. Really good. If I had left protein over, I would have put in like some ground elk meat or something, or even chicken. But like, just having it like really dense and thick, that's what she said. So good. And then we spent our Saturday at a birthday party for little Ben. He turned 1. So exciting. Our first outing without me eating food out. So I packed my food. Whoa. Maybe shouldn't stand on your tent. It's a little slippery.
What?
Okay, you're gonna kick it or catch it? With your head? Well, it definitely hit your head. So this week's sleep has been not so far from being sick over the weekend, and then Monday, like kind of like the last day of being sick, and then slept okay Tuesday, and then last night, Gabriel was like up at like 1:30 or something like that. So doing cardio at noon this week for most of it, because I trained my client most of this week, is rough. When you get lack of sleep, your body doesn't like respond how it should respond to what you're doing. So getting my heart rate up to where it needs to be just takes work. Like 105 steps per minute on the Stairmaster, when ideally I'm fine at 95, but please God, child, go to sleep. How much money did we do? See, we got like, it's got half.
Hold it.
Thank you. For a piggy bank, man, we did pretty good.
And think that, oh wow, it's just a quick and easy climb to the top, but only to realize that it took so much to get to that point, many losses and hurdles and things in life to overcome. Just keep your eye on the prize and don't quit. It's not over. It just means you got a little work to do. So yeah, keep going, guys.
Not past Mark Anthony's physique when he won. He smoked me still, right? It's cool. You know, just you got to be honest with yourself and find what's best for you. Today, you guys are going to have the option. It's up to you guys. We'll let the seminar go how it's going to go with what you guys want to do. But I'm happy to do physique assessments, tell you where I think you'll be best. Have thick skin. I'm going to tell you the truth. It's my job as a coach. I'll tell you where I think you'll be best. I can tell you where I think your workout split should be. We could take this in many directions on today's seminar. So it's up to you.
And I'm happy to help out as well.
Yeah, that'd be, but only.
So if we're in our back pose, just general rules of thumb, I like to start with my heels underneath my shoulders. Now that's a rule of thumb, but that doesn't mean applies to everyone, because what if you have wider shoulders? You don't want to be like this, right? But to your own comfortability, right? Underneath your shoulders is where I would start. For me personally, my toes are at 1 o'clock and 11 o'clock. And that's because my quads are not too big. But I do know that girls with bigger quads will have to turn them in, because we don't want the outline of our quad to exceed the outline of our glutes, right? We don't want that. So if that is happening to you, you're gonna have to put them more forward. But for me, since I don't have huge quads, I'll go for 1 and 11. And here I'm just kind of putting my weight onto my heels. I'm kind of picturing the feeling of the end of an RDL. You know, when you're standing up, but you're not locked out, you're not completely up straight, you're just a little bit hinged still putting all the tension on our glutes, on our heels, and we should be able to wiggle our toes. And with my palms, I'll just put a little bit of pressure to make that rear delt pop a little bit. I'm not squeezing in. I'm not doing the scarecrow, which that was a thing in 2020. This, I don't know how to do it. But, so just make sure they're nice and relaxed. I like to do kind of like point with a diagonal. So if my elbows are the pointer, it's just a diagonal angle there. Some people keep it a little more narrow. This is also going to depend on the width of your shoulders, right? So that's what I would do. And don't bend over too much, because again, judges are at a below angle. So they're looking up. So the more you bend, the flatter they look. And it's going to distort your thighs. They're going to look bigger than the top. Because as Adam already described, the perception of, what is it called? The angle, yes. The angle of what you see it at. If it's farther away, it's smaller. If it's closer, it's bigger. So
your shoulders will get really small if you're bending forward.
Yes.
And your hips will be look unbalanced from upper to lower body if you're bending forward. So a high level bikini girl, I can put her against a wall, and I can put one of those foam rollers behind her back with her shoulders touching the back and her glutes touching the back, because it's all here. So that's, I don't know if that's how they're practicing. I just tell them to do the runner stretch, but if someone who's really practiced, you can just slide it right in with their shoulders on the wall and their hips on the wall when they're doing this pose. It's crazy. So.
Judges are looking at your rear delts, your back, your waist. Again, this is why we don't want to see super long hair covering your waist, right? You want to be able to see that waist, your glutes, your calves, all those muscle groups on the backside of our body, just like bodybuilders or any of the men's division. So to that point, if you're leaning over too much forward, like you said, it takes away from that, right? And then you don't see that nice hourglass.
The leg thing that she talked about, how she said the quad overgain, right? We don't want these big sweeping quads in bikini. Okay, we do limit the muscle in bikini there. So if you have big quads and they're sticking out here, how Ashley said, you're gonna go to like a 12 o'clock position on your feet, right? So what else are we looking for though that we didn't cover? Most of you are gonna be here on this position on your feet, okay? But the other things we're looking for is the hamstrings, right? The judges, what are they looking for? They want round, full hamstrings, right? That are not detailed. Okay, so a lot of times, a lot of you girls are going to have detail on your hamstrings, and girls will think, oh, I got awesome hamstrings because they're detailed and my hamstrings are too developed. More often than not, the hamstrings are not developed enough, and that's why you're seeing the separation lines, because they're skinny hamstrings. You're seeing the thinness of the hamstrings, and the grooves of the muscle are exposed. When you have full round hamstrings, you're not getting as much of that groove in there. Okay, so when you have those like skinnier, less developed hamstrings, you're seeing all this gapping, and that's where those striations are coming from. So it's actually the opposite of what most people think. You need, like Ashley has really developed hamstrings, probably some of the most developed hamstrings in bikini.
you're making them blush.
So, but there's not separation lines, right? You're like, well, why does she have such developed hamstrings and there's no separation lines? Well, because they're developed, and this gapping got filled with muscle, okay? So the round, full look isn't from like a lot of girls are like, oh, I got just 2 developed. I'm like, no, you don't have enough developed. That's what's happening, you know? So I want to create, you know, this full round look that's really muscular, but it looks like it's not overly muscular at the same time, right? I want her to be dieted down super hard, but she can't look like she's dieted down super hard, right? So it's a whole thing we're trying to like sell. And so it means that we need to work out a specific way for your body type. So what you already kind of talked about. One of the things I just wanted to cover too is what we're looking for. So the diamonds here, we call them, these are diamonds, right? So the diamonds should be small, not big, like she said. The other thing you want to be careful with, this is girl to girl too, is if you have a lot of tricep development, the more you have a diamond, the more tricep you're going to see. So if you have a lot of tricep development, big arms, you want to put your arms more back, right? But you don't want to pinch at the same time. So you make, you know, again, we're creating the illusions of proportions, right? So if you have big arms, we hide them. If we have over, you know, too much shoulders, we're not putting pressure on our shoulders to make the rear delts look even bigger, right? So all these little things. We want to see, the judges want to see a V taper, but they don't want to see open lats, okay? Head is important that your head is, yep, chin up.
Don't look at your toes.
Yep, keep your chin up. Make sure that you're always, whenever you're looking at a judge, in the front or in the back, your head's up. You always look at them with your eyes, never with your head.
I have a saying, chin high, chest to the sky. So displays confidence, because if not, we might be a little hunched over.
So if you look at my chin here and how I look here versus if I look at you with my head, I lose my neck, right? It doesn't look so regal, so proud and confident, right? So it's here with your eyes, never with your head, okay?
The bikini front pose is, I like to start it off with, first, what is your dominant hip, right? How if you're standing waiting, what side would you naturally go to, right? For me, it's this side. So I put all my weight onto this back leg here. Now, again, for me, I'm at a 2 o'clock angle with this foot here, but know that it can go anywhere from noon to like 3. Some girls do the profile one, which I'm not a fan of so much. Some girls are a little more front on here, but regardless of the positioning of your foot, it's more so the positioning of your belly button that matters most. So, although my foot is at a 2, I always try to get my belly button at a 3 o'clock angle here. So, twisting that, it does take a little bit of contortion. It's a little uncomfortable if you haven't tried it, and it takes a lot of practice. So getting into that position, I'm putting my weight onto my leg here. This one, I could theoretically on stage pick it up because all my weight is on this one. Now, with this foot here, I like to keep it kind of in line with my shoulder again. This might be a little different if, depending on your own structure and build. Again, maybe you're more of a triangle shaped or you're bottom heavy. This is all gonna come into play with your angles, right? Hitting this, now I'm with this foot again underneath my shoulder. I'm standing up tall, belly button is facing this wall here. Now I'm bringing my shoulder back a little bit behind my glute here. You don't want to get too close with it because you're covering up all your hard work. So behind the glute, nice and relaxed, shoulder is back. This elbow is in vision, so I'm not like bringing it all the way back. The judge can see both of my elbows. They're in both of his vision. So that's how I would stand, keeping nice and tight and chin high, chest to the sky. Anything I missed?
Not really. I don't think there's anything you missed there, no.
Do you change the position of your feet depending on where you're standing out on the line?
Oh, that's a good point. So if there's a lot of competitors, it's a huge stage, you might want to twist your body a little bit so that the judges can see your best angle. Because if it's a big stage, you might get you're not showing your best angle if you're all the way at the end, right? So just like you mentioned, you might want to shift your body so that you're showing your best side, right? Now, I do feel like a lot of times people overdo it, and you'll see girls that in their back pose, they're like literally like this, and it's like, it almost looks like they're doing a totally different pose because they're so angled, they're too angled. So don't overdo it, and I would say use it with caution. Only certain stages will allow for that, I think, because if it's a 4-person call out and it's a smaller stage, I don't really think we need to angle that much. But do you have any other insight on that?
But like you guys have said, and Adam's mentioned multiple times, it's all about angles and illusions, right? You're trying to create an illusion of your physique, because we all have flaws, we all have weaknesses, And posing and creating different, playing with angles is gonna help you find which pose works best for you. And for me, I'm not a coach, I'm not a competitor, but I have seen countless times where athletes will line up on stage, and depending on where they're at on the line, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So practice from different positions what you would do in that situation, because as you practice those situations, you're gonna know what to do, and so the flawless judge are gonna look and be like, well, she knows what she's doing, she knows how to angle, and it's gonna work to your advantage.
Yeah, I always say, imagine your mirrors when you're practicing, you're posing. The head judge is the mirror is straight on there. So always pose to the mirror. So for example, how I could do this without, usually it's easier because everyone's already in the line. I'll do it to this line so they understand, if you guys get it. So if this is the head judge, and this is my best pose, let's just say this is my best pose. Very simple, I just do my best pose. So this is my best pose. As I come down this part of the line, if I posed like this to her, it's a different look. All I need to do is just turn my body like this, and now my mirror's there, and that's all you need to do. Right? It seems really confusing, but the farther you get on the line, it's just a micro adjustment. Yeah, it's just, so again, here she sees like to here on me, right? Versus to here on me. So in bikini terms, if I'd be here, right, to her, versus I would be here to her. So it's just these micro adjustments. I think on the front pose, it's very helpful. And even you can't really tell that they're doing it on the front pose so much, you know, because it's not a huge thing, it's like barely. On the back pose, I think it's a little silly for most stages. Because like Ashley says, like if they're here, she can see my glutes pretty well. Because I'm way back there, it's not like I'm this close to her.
Right.
But the girls like who do like this, and they're like standing way out the line. I'm
Yeah,
like,
like what are we doing?
I'm like, they can
Is
clearly,
she even part of this call out?
Yeah.
I can't tell.
Like, we can clearly see you. You're 20 feet away. Like there doesn't change anything on the back pose, but the front pose, I think, a little bit more. Make that head judge your mirror, and just turn yourself to them. So
Don't
that way
overdo it.
That way they don't see you. You know, at the if your best bikini pose, if I'm like this and that's all you could see, I mean, it's really hurting your chances then. So.
And from the judge's perspective, like the first time you come out on stage, you might not be in the center, right? So it's only going to benefit you guys to practice from different positions. And you know, as a judge, we determine our call outs when we bring out for comparisons, right? And then when you come out for your individual presentation, that's kind of where we're trying to decide, okay, like first call out or second call out, our process is like we see in comparisons, we pick out our top athletes, right? And so if you have a great physique, but you're off to the side, you're not showcasing your best angle, like you could potentially miss out on being in that first call out, even though you have an incredible physique.
Yeah, we'll practice that today too, if you guys could practice that too.
Absolutely. And then as far as the front pose, Steve, is there anything that you hate seeing and things that you're looking for? Do you want to give any insight on that?
I mean, just, not that I don't hate seeing any,
Well, there's things that you're just like, I wish they would
such
stop
a strong
doing.
word. Yeah.
Like, we don't need
There's
to.
already too much hate. No, it's just from a judge's perspective, like if I can see you, I'm judging you.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. Like if you're off to the side and I can see you, you're being judged, right? Like as a head judge, I'm trying to figure out my call out so that the show's moving, right? So if I can see you, I'm judging you, I'm forming my opinion of you. So that impression that you're making is huge. So keep everything tight, always be in a pose, always be showcasing your best, don't relax. Okay?
Yeah. The time you step on stage, the time you leave stage, you're being judged.
You're being judged. You're always being judged, and and nothing's final until after the show's over.
And watch your breathing. Make sure
Yeah, keep your stomach tight. Don't relax.
breathing through your chest, short, shallow breaths. When you're in the front pose, you're only on stage for a few minutes. You'll be fine. And when you're in your back pose, you can breathe like regular.
Yeah.
Catch your breath.
Relax your smile for a second.
But you
Let
shouldn't
your
see.
gun out.
Yeah, you shouldn't see like it should be in here. Very short, very shallow. So your stomach shouldn't be in and out, not much at all.
And also, make sure you're always showing your number. Don't make it hard on the judges. They're trying to do this in the most efficient and quick way possible, so you're making it really hard on them if you're not showing your number. So just remember, that's important.
Remember it too. That's what's important.
So I went to a, what do they call it, a champion mindset workshop today in Salt Lake City. It was put on by Wasatch Warrior, Robyn. She's fantastic. I haven't been to like any other like shows or anything like that, or competitions. But from going to her show last year and then, you know, seeing this workshop that she put on, it's just incredible. And all the community bodybuilders in Utah and everything are fantastic. So the workshop was from 11 until 3 today at the FTC Utah gym, and like this gym is so cool. It has all the things like a bodybuilder would want, and then some like really incredible glute machines that we don't have at our gym or whatever. But anyways, so Ashley Kaltwasser. So Ashley and then Cannon were there. Ashley is an IFBB pro, and she's won 50 pro shows in her career, which is incredible. And she's in bikini, I should say, in bikini. And so they did some talking about their mindset in competing, and you know, like, we're all gonna be losers. Like, we don't start out like being winners. There's always something to be worked on. You got to remember your reason for being in this. And there's a lot of things like I haven't like thought about like my like reason. I just know that I love the community. I love how I feel doing lifting weights, and being a bodybuilder lifestyle. I love the nutrition point and standpoint. I think it's on par with anything. And if you want to call it a diet, sure, you can call it a diet. But really, like, you're feeling your body. Sure, yeah, going into competition, like, we're going to be depleting the body of energy, basically. And you fight through that. And then, you know, we slowly reverse back out. So, like, it's only a short period of time, like, being in that phase. Nobody should be in competition stage leanness for a long time. Especially, like, coming from when I was in, like, an eating disorder for, like, 5 years. That's a long time to have your body depleted. It should be maybe, like, a few months. And then you should reverse out, go into maintenance. Of course, I didn't understand the knowledge of like the power of food, but now I do, and I think it's huge. Anyway, so they did that. There was also Steve, I can't remember his last name, but he is one of the judges, Olympia judges, in the IFBB Pro League, which it was incredible to hear him talk. Yeah, Robyn also was talking up there, and then I'm so bad, I can't remember his name either, but one of the guys a gentleman who does Utah Classic, he was there and talked, and how like he's working on like getting more and more back to the competitors, which is fantastic. And then we broke for lunch, and then after lunch we went and did listen to Ashley and Adam. Her coach was there. Talk about the posing differences between bikini and the fit model division. Fit model was just released this year, and then in 2026 they'll add on the pro league for fit model. But anyways, so went over those two different posing. I wish we could have like worked on that more. I wish there was just more time. That was like the only one like downfall about this workshop, is just running out of time. Because there was a lot of girls. I don't know. I would say like 50 girls there. And but anyway, so got help on my front pose. I just need to not lock out my standing leg in my front pose. everything else looked good. And then from watching everybody else and then talking to Mel showed up for a little bit there at the end. She also lives in Rock Springs, and she's a bikini competitor. Anyway, so she introduced me to one of her friends who is a posing coach there, who's a pro, and I just need to work on my back pose, really getting the arch down, arch in the back. It's not about pushing your butt out to the audience, and then not bending over, but you gotta like keep upright but arching. It's crazy. And then we went into a session about talking about training. So we don't actually get to train with Ashley, which that's like the one thing that I was like, one of many things that I was looking forward to was like actually doing like movement. So her coach Adam went over a lot of things with training, and I like my coach Emily, like she's spot on what we should be doing, really. What we've been doing and the condition that I am in right now is so good. Like there's other people that are also in prep right now for other shows there, and from what I can tell, like we're at a very good standpoint. I'm not like saying like these other girls don't work hard or anything, but for how I train in the gym, it is to failure. It's not doing crazy amounts of reps. It's doing the rep range that we need to be in, working to failure and how failure should be looking. We're not just sticking to the same weights, we're slowly graduating up in weights. Like you keep working hard. And there was also a lot of questions about cardio, and like I think our cardio is spot on. Like we're keeping the heart rate in a range that needs to be in, and it's consistent. Some girls were asking about like doing HIIT or whatever, and when you do those HIIT programs, it really you don't want to be doing them too much, because then it puts your body in more of a stress mode, and also starts your body ends up using protein as energy. I hope I'm saying that right, but I mean, like uses your muscle for energy, so like it slowly starts like eating away your muscle mass, versus where we're at, keeping a consistent heart rate and consistent movement for cardio allows me to keep my muscle mass but still have us burn fat. So I have huge, well, I've always had faith in my coach Emily, but like I have huge faith in my coach Emily. Like she knows what she's doing. She's badass. And then so close out, gotta have a picture with Ashley. So pretty excited about that. And the crazy part is like Ashley she doesn't look in person. She's not big. She's not. What I mean by not big, like not like. Yes. But also means she's a bikini competitor. She's not like fitness or physique or any of the big ones like that. But like her glutes look amazing. Like they're huge. I'm like, oh man. But I mean that takes years. And let me remind everybody, I've been only lifting weights for probably like 3 years. 3 or 4 years. But I'll go on the error side. Like 5 years, but pushing hard for about 2.5 years. If I had known what I know now, I would be more developed than what I am now. So we can only go up from here. So I'm excited. It was really good. Now I'm on my way back. I'm back home. 3-hour drive. And yeah, looking forward to it. I definitely have plans on wanting to go watch the Wasatch Warrior show this year and see Mel and cheer her on, and see everybody else there. I'm excited. So they changed up how they're going to be doing the show this year. Last year and the previous years, they started off with NPC guys, and then the men's and women's division at like 9 in the morning, and then at noon they had the IFBB pros come on, and then I think it was like at 5 is when they call everybody back for finals, and that didn't like conclude until like 11 o'clock at night or whatever. I think I heard. So this year it's I can't remember the schedule off the top of my head, but IFBB pros go at noon, and then it flows into, I think, the men, and then it flows into the women for NPC. So that starts at like 3, and then it will flow into finals. So it'll be ending sooner, so not like super late at night. So that's exciting. So don't have to wake up super early to go to it. Not gonna be a full day thing, but I mean full day of traveling for sure. But yeah, I hope I can find somebody to go with me. I haven't put it out there that I want to go, and I haven't